Hello there folks, my name is Spunks and I saw 3 films this past weekend, so you're getting another triple feature review, starting with the Pout-Pout fish, which, as you can imagine, was not very good. It is definitely something you'd expect from Viva Kids, just a lower tier animated film that doesn't have really lively animation, really unfunny humor, some obnoxious characters, and definitely borrows a lot from some other animated movies. In this movie's case, Finding Nemo especially. And I will say for the first maybe 50 minutes of this movie, it was exactly that. I was bored, uninterested. The animation, while not bad, it's definitely colorful and vibrant, still felt very stiff and a bit rigid at times. And again, the humor was falling really flat and I did not care for a lot of the characters. But the last 42 minutes definitely moved the needle slightly. It doesn't get watchable or anything. It doesn't become like this masterpiece, but I do think they actually added things in the second half that made things a bit more interesting. They raised the stakes a bit more, and even a lot of the jokes made me chuckle a bit, which actually surprised me. It was much more than I was expecting out of this movie, and even I started to like some of the characters. Nick Offerman brings the most he can to the role, and I even enjoyed Amy Sedaris playing these sharks who are basically the girls from Heathers, and even the starfish I found to be pretty amusing. So yeah, still I wouldn't recommend you checking this out, especially when you got much better options to take the family to. This is definitely something more that you would just pop on Netflix to keep the kids quiet. Again, it's still a pretty lackluster, not very original or interesting, engaging animated film. Again, I didn't really enjoy this all that much. And then I saw Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, which was fine. As a big fan of the first one, especially recently after a rewatch, really, I just loved it even more on the second time around. I was slightly underwhelmed by the sequel. My problems lie within mainly the first half of the movie and the climax. I thought the first half was suffering a lot from sequelitis, a lot of exposition, a lot of setup, a lot of characters, a lot of new rules and backstory, yada yada yada. It just really felt like, okay, we gotta do a sequel. The last one made a lot of money. We gotta find some way to get things going, get things moving. And I was really worried, like, oh no, this is gonna be one of those sequels. And while the climax definitely had its moments, it definitely had its humorous and absurd moments, I definitely felt it wasn't on par with how insane and hilarious and ridiculous the climax was of the first film. It felt a bit been there, done that, and definitely more playing it safe in regards to the climax with this one. It wasn't as satisfying or as hilarious or ridiculous as the first film's climax. Otherwise, that middle chunk of the movie is really entertaining. It really felt like they brought their A game. The humor was landing. I like the dynamic between the two leads. A lot of the characters and new cast members, new hunters if you will, are really funny, really interesting, and how they shake things up and how they try to win this new game are really entertaining. Very violent, very bloody, very ridiculous. There's one sequence involving two characters getting pepper sprayed that's really funny, and again, a lot of memorable funny moments in here. Unfortunately, I just don't think this is going to resonate with me as much as the first one. Again, just the first half and the climax just really underwhelmed me, and I wish the film had the strengths of that middle chunk. Still not a terrible film, but I was hoping for more. And the last movie I saw was Project Hail Mary, which was excellent. This movie was everything I wanted it to be and more. Let's start with like the visuals. My goodness, these visuals, special effects, everything just looks so gorgeous and breathtaking, my gosh. And I love the design of Rocky, and I love that he was pretty much a puppet and an animatronic, and they were able to make pretty much a rock creature a really adorable, endearing, and lovable character. Your heart will melt for this character, and his relationship with Ryan Gosling's character is the heart and soul of the movie. You will really buy into their friendship and just want to see them, succeed in their goals and have a happy ending, run off into the sunset with one another, and you truly believe that they become best buds. They're pretty much the dream team. I just love following their story together and seeing how Ryan Gosling got into the situation throughout the film, as it explains, was also really endearing, interesting. It definitely took some turns that I wasn't expecting it to, and it definitely shows a bit more of the darker themes and messages of the film. But the film is not like doom and gloom or anything. It's actually really hopeful and optimistic, and I love the message of that. It's really endearing and definitely left me on a happy note. And the movie, being by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, also has a lot of very, very funny moments. I was laughing a lot, and throughout the film, pretty consistently, lots of great moments, again, between Ryan Gosling and Rocky. But there is also some really intense, exciting action sequences, not in the sense of like they fight off other aliens, but definitely given the trials and tribulations they have to go through, there's a lot of things they have to get through to get their missions achieved, and those sequences were really exciting and fun. Probably my only gripe with this movie was the ending. It felt like it went on forever. It's a movie that I felt like had multiple endings, and there were moments where I'm like, okay, the movie's wrapping up, we're ready to leave, this is amazing, but it would just keep going and going, and after a while I was ready to hit the road, ready for things to just wrap up. But other than that, yeah, this movie's excellent. I absolutely loved it. Believe the hype. This was, again, excellent, magnificent, marvelous. I loved this movie. And those are my thoughts on the Pout-Pout Fish, Ready or Not 2, and Project Hail Mary. What did you all think of these movies? If you've seen any of them, if you've seen them all, or at least most of them, which ones did you prefer? Which ones did you like? Which ones didn't you like? Comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on all those social media links right there. And until next time, everyone, stay sharp.